Hey ARMYs, welcome to Asian Pop Culture YouTube channel. Before we dive into this absolutely heartbreaking moment that has the entire fandom in tears, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because trust me, you don't want to miss what happened during BTS's recent live broadcast. What you're about to see is a raw, unfiltered moment that shows exactly why BTS's bond goes beyond just being bandmates. This is family. This is love. And I'm not gonna lie, I cried making this video. So grab your tissues because we're going in. And stay until the end because I'll reveal something about Suga that will change how you see this entire moment. Okay, so let me set this scene for you. After months of waiting, and I mean literal months of ARMYs camping on Weavers hoping for any sign of OT7 content, BTS finally held their first full group live broadcast since completing their military service. All 7 members were together on Weverse Live, and ARMYs worldwide were absolutely losing it. I'm talking about servers crashing, hashtags trending in literally every country, and fans staying up at ungodly hours just to catch a glimpse of their favorite boys. The anticipation was insane. Twitter was on fire. Instagram was flooded with reactions even before the live started. The live was packed with exciting announcements. Their new album, Arirang, dropping March 20th, 2026, featuring 14 brand new tracks, and their massive world tour hitting 79 concerts across 34 cities spanning 5 continents. Can you believe that? 79 concerts. This is going to be the biggest tour in BTS history. But amidst all this excitement, all these incredible announcements, all the laughter and joy of seeing the boys together again, there was one moment that completely broke the internet. And I mean shattered it into a million pieces. This wasn't about music, this wasn't about performances, this was about something so much deeper, so much more personal. Near the end of the broadcast, when everyone was still buzzing with excitement about the tour dates and album tracklist, Jimin made a comment about his weight that immediately caught everyone's attention. The atmosphere shifted. You could feel it through the screen. And what happened next? Suga's reaction had millions of ARMYs crying, tweeting, and sharing this moment everywhere. So here's what went down. As the boys were wrapping up the live, casually saying their goodbyes and thanking ARMYs for tuning in, Jimin suddenly said, and I quote, "I'll really lose weight." Just like that. 5 simple words. But those 5 words carried so much weight, no pun intended, that the entire fandom collectively gasped. Now, to understand why this hit so incredibly hard, we need to talk about Jimin's ongoing struggle with body image and the absolutely toxic diet culture in K-pop. And trust me, this goes deep. During an earlier live broadcast with Jungkook on July 11th, 2025, which was also super emotional by the way, Jimin revealed that he had gained 10 kilograms, that's about 22 pounds, during his military service. He explained that he wanted to bulk up after seeing fit officers and being surrounded by bigger guys in the military. But here's where it gets heartbreaking. He kept touching his belly during the live. You could see the self-consciousness. You could see the worry in his eyes. He mentioned that he lost his abs, those abs that ARMYs in the media had praised for years, and he promised, almost pleadingly, that he would work out to bring them back. The vulnerability in that moment was real. This wasn't an idol putting on a show. This was Park Jimin, a human being, expressing genuine insecurity about his body, and millions of people were watching. But this is where Min Yugi, our beloved Suga, stepped in as the most perceptive and caring Hyung ever. The second, and I mean instantly, like lightning fast, after Jimin said he'll lose weight, Suga's head snapped toward him. You could see the concern flash across his face, and without missing a single beat, he reassured Jimin by saying, "You don't have to say. We know you'll get it done." Now pause for a second. Let that sink in. Do you understand the layers of what just happened there? Suga didn't just hear Jimin's words, he felt them. He recognized the emotion behind them. He understood that Jimin wasn't making a casual comment or a simple promise. Jimin was making this statement out of insecurity, out of pressure, out of worry about what fans, what the media, what the world might think. And Suga immediately stepped in to ease that burden. He didn't let Jimin spiral. He didn't let that insecurity fester. He shut it down with reassurance and support. That is what a real friend does. That is what family does. To fully appreciate the depth of this moment, we need to understand Jimin's history with extreme dieting. And warning, this part gets really heavy. Some of these stories might shock you, even if you've been in ARMY for years. Jimin has been extremely open about his struggles with body image throughout BTS's entire career. During the blood, sweat, and tears era, that legendary era that gave us iconic visuals, Jimin revealed he survived on just one meal a day for 10 days straight. That's right, OMAD, 1 meal a day for 10 consecutive days. This extreme restriction left him completely drained. We're talking about a professional dancer and performer who has to execute complex choreography, sing live, and maintain high energy levels, and he was running on 1 meal a day. He admitted to collapsing multiple times during dance rehearsals. His members had to catch him. His staff worried constantly. In another instance, he lost 7 kilograms, that's about 15 pounds, through rigorous exercise and strict dieting. Fans noticed. Other BTS members noticed. Everyone became seriously worried about his health. RM even mentioned in interviews that they had to keep an eye on Jimin to make sure he was eating properly. And it's not just Jimin. The entire K-pop industry has this incredibly toxic relationship with extreme dieting. This is an industry-wide problem that affects countless idols, both male and female. Jungkook, our golden maknae, once revealed he survived on only water for 5 days straight to prepare for the Butter music video. 5 days. Just water. No food. That's not dieting. That's borderline starvation. Jin ate nothing but chicken breast for an entire year during the Wings album era. Imagine eating the same thing day after day for 365 days. So when Jimin made that comment about losing weight during this live broadcast, it wasn't just a casual statement. It wasn't a throwaway line. It carried years of pressure, insecurity, trauma, and pain around his body image. It represented every time he looked in the mirror and felt he wasn't enough, every time he read comments criticizing his appearance, every time the industry told him he needed to be thinner, more toned, more perfect. Now, let's talk about why Suga's reaction was so significant and why it reveals something beautiful about his character. Min Yoongi might come across as the savage, straightforward, no-nonsense member of BTS. He's known for his blunt honesty, his dry humor, his tendency to sleep anywhere and everywhere. But those who really know him, those who pay attention, understand he's one of the most emotionally intelligent and deeply caring people in the group. Throughout BTS's history, and I'm talking about going back to their debut days, their struggles, their rise to global fame, Suga has consistently been protective of their members, especially Jimin. There's something about their relationship that's just special. He notices things others might miss. He pays attention to subtle emotional cues, changes in behavior, shifts in energy. And when he sees someone he loves struggling, when he senses that pain or insecurity, he steps in without hesitation. No questions asked, no second guessing, just immediate support and protection.
In this particular moment, Suga could have just let Jimin's comment slide. Most people would have. It would have been so easy to just nod, agree, and move on with the conversation. But Suga didn't do that. He couldn't do that, because he recognized that Jimin was making a promise rooted in insecurity, and he immediately reassured him. It was his way of saying, without explicitly saying it in front of millions of viewers, "I see you. I know you. I understand what you're feeling. And you don't have to prove anything to anyone. Not to armies, not to the industry, not to the world. You are enough, exactly as you are. There's another absolutely adorable moment from that same live that shows their dynamic perfectly. The members were talking about getting back in shape for the tour, and Jimin, being his playful self, reached over to touch Suga's belly, then touched his own, comparing them in this cute, endearing way. And instead of getting defensive or brushing it off, Suga said with complete sincerity and empathy, "It's not easy to lose weight." He acknowledged the struggle without judgment. He normalized the challenge. He made it okay to not be perfect. That is the kind of emotional intelligence and empathy that defines their relationship. That is why ARMYs love him so much. Unsurprisingly, ARMYs immediately picked up on this moment, and the reactions flooded social media instantly. I'm talking about millions of tweets, posts, videos, and comments within minutes of the live ending. One fan tweeted, "At the end of the live, Jimin said, 'I'll really lose weight,' but Yoongi immediately noticed and reassured him," with a crying emoji. This single tweet got millions of views, hundreds of thousands of retweets, and spawned countless threads analyzing the moment frame by frame. Another ARMY wrote, "Can someone please tell Jimin he does not need to lose weight?" With countless others, and I mean thousands, agreeing that Jimin looks absolutely perfect exactly as he is. The support was overwhelming. The love was palpable. Many fans praised Suga specifically, calling him perceptive and caring, the best hung ever, and Jimin's guardian angel. Comments like, "This is why we love Yoongi," "Suga protecting Jimin's mental health," and "Mean Yoongi best boy" were trending worldwide across multiple platforms simultaneously. But there's also this underlying sadness in the fandom's reaction. ARMYs are worried. They're genuinely concerned that even after everything, even after years of growth and self-love messages, Jimin still feels this intense pressure to conform to impossible beauty standards. They're scared he might push himself too hard again. They're afraid of history repeating itself. This moment highlights a massive issue in the K-pop industry: the toxic diet culture and completely impossible beauty standards placed on idols. And we need to talk about this because it affects not just BTS, but every idol group. In South Korea, there's immense societal pressure around appearance. Having flawless skin, specific facial features, and being extremely thin are often considered essential beauty standards. Entertainment companies frequently enforce strict weight requirements. Idols are weighted regularly, their diets are monitored, their bodies are constantly scrutinized by management, by the media, by the public. Idols face constant criticism. If they gain even a little weight, netizens attack them mercilessly. If they lose too much weight, people express concern but often still praise them for looking good. It's a no-win situation. The pressure is relentless and unforgiving. But here's what makes this moment absolutely beautiful, and why it gives me hope. Despite all the industry pressure, despite all the societal expectations, despite the fact that millions of people were watching and judging, Suga chose to prioritize Jimin's well-being over appearance. He chose compassion over conformity. He chose support over silence. He chose humanity over image. This is exactly what we need more of in the K-pop industry, and honestly, in the entire entertainment world, in media, in society at large. We need more people who will step up and say, "You're enough. You're perfect as you are. You don't need to change for anyone. Your worth isn't determined by your weight or your abs or how you look in photos." So what's the ultimate takeaway from all this? What should we learn from this heartbreaking yet beautiful moment? First, BTS's bond is real. This isn't scripted for cameras. This isn't fan service manufactured by a company. These are 7 men who genuinely love, care for, and protect each other through absolutely everything. Through the struggles, the fame, the pressure, the scrutiny, they have each other's backs, always. Second, mental health and body image matter infinitely more than any beauty standard or industry expectation. Jimin, if somehow you're watching this, and I know you're probably not, but just in case, You are loved by millions of people around the world exactly as you are. Not for your abs, not for your weight, not for conforming to some arbitrary beauty standard, but for you, your incredible talent, your boundless kindness, your genuine heart, your beautiful soul. That's what makes you special. That's what makes you irreplaceable. And to all the armies watching this right now, let's continue supporting BTS not just as performers, not just as idols, but as human beings. Real people with real feelings, real struggles, real insecurities. Let's remind them constantly that they don't have to be perfect. They don't have to fit into molds. They just have to be themselves. And that is more than enough. If this video touched your heart the way it touched mine, if you felt even a fraction of the emotion I put this together, please leave a comment down below sharing your thoughts. Tell me about your favorite Suga and Jimin moments. Tell me how this moment affected you. Let's spread love and positivity together. Hit that like button to help this video reach more armies who need to see this message. Subscribe if you haven't already, because we've got so much more BTS content coming, including deep dives into their comeback, tour preparations, and more emotional moments you won't want to miss. And share this with fellow armies who need this reminder today. Until next time, remember the words that BTS has taught us. Love yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself. Because you are worthy. You are enough. You are loved. Purple you all. Borahae.